We're actually not trying to remove the existing ceramic coating, we're just trying to abrade it.
Recoating a ceramic coated vehicle.
Hi, I'm Ivan.
I'm Nick.
And this is DIY Detail. Today, we're gonna recoat this vehicle. Now, in a previous video, and if you're a subscriber, you've probably seen it. If you haven't subscribed yet, now's the time to do it. We have a lot of educational content here. But we have washed, we have decontaminated and made this ready for a new ceramic coating. But we're missing one crucial step, and that is polishing.
Polishing before coating, Ivan. Some people say, why even polish before ceramic coating?
To deep clean the surface, to get rid of those annoying little micro scratches. Now, if this had a deep scratch down the side, no polishing is not gonna take care of that. But it is gonna take care of all those annoying little scratches. This is an extremely well-maintained and loved vehicle. It's 9 years old and there's hardly a scratch on it. But we're still gonna polish because now we have to abrade that existing coating.
Well, polishing will deep clean your paint. It will also make it very shiny. The question is, and I'm thinking to the person at home, where do I start? Do I use a rotary? Do I use a dual action polisher? What pad do I use? What liquid do I use? Ivan, what advice do you have for folks out there?
We've always said, if you only have one pad in your life, that is our yellow waffle pad. And that's what we'll be doing today. Yellow waffle pad, gold standard polish, 25mm DA, simple, basic system that gets great results.
Should we get started?
Off we go. And we don't need the drip catcher anymore. It's catched all the drips. Ready to polish, Nick?
Yes, sir. Where are we starting?
Well, I'm gonna start at the back because that's where my cart is at the moment, work my way forward. It really doesn't matter. The whole goal here is to make sure that you're polishing everywhere. One of the joys of a waffle pad and the gold standard polish is being able to get in everywhere. And if you look here, this side hasn't been polished and this side has. I haven't wiped the polish residue off, but it's just to show you how deeply and how well it cleans these plastics. If you look inside the Toyota, around the A, the T, the O looks good. Around the TOY, yeah, not as much. The joys of a waffle pad.
And the joys of actual detailing. We are getting the details improved.
Right.
Yeah, indeed.
One of the misconceptions about a 25mm polisher, and when we say 25mm, that's the orbit. So if you look at the center here, it's actually going in a 25mm circle. So that's the orbit of the machine. Now, it also has rotation. The rotation we're not too concerned about. If it stalls, you only lose about 5% of the cut. So if it stops rotating, not a big deal. But one of the concerns that a lot of people have is that this long stroke is gonna make detailed areas difficult to get to. Look at this door handle. I can polish this door handle with ease. And if you'll notice, I have polish residue all on the door handle, but none on the paint. Of course, I want to polish the paint, but what I'm showing you here, we can get extreme precision. It doesn't matter if you have a 2mm stroke or a 25mm stroke, that precision remains the same. It's all on the person holding the tool, not the tool itself. Right here we can see a phenomenon we call bunching. And if you look very closely, here the polish is spread nice and uniformly. But if you look over here, what you can see here, the polish is bunched up. And what's causing that is the sealants that are actually on top of the coating. This is a customer that's enthusiastic about products, likes to try different products, so we have to break through that and make sure that we're down to the coating.
Ivan, I noticed that on this side, but I think we wanted to show it where we could really see it in the camera, or maybe there's extra sealants on the driver's side, but I've been noticing that. So I've been really patient.
Yes.
And I was gonna ask, the person at home may not know, how many passes do I use to abrade or remove a ceramic coating? I want you to address that, but also what I'm doing is I polish till the bunching's gone.
Right.
So if I have to go re-clean my pad, do another spray of gold standard polish and go back to that section, I go until I'm getting really nice, clean polishing lines.
Yes.
The bunching is gone. That's when I know I've abraded it well enough, but abrading, removing, talk about what we're doing here.
Right. We're actually not trying to remove the existing ceramic coating. We're just trying to abrade it. We're trying to make it so that the new ceramic coating bonds to the old one. The old one is bonded to the paint. It's still doing its job, but we want to enhance it. We want to make it better. And therefore, we're not trying to remove the existing ceramic coating. We're trying to abrade it so the new one can actually grab hold and improve it. On this surface, when we're done polishing, a clean surface will bead water. So those of you that are thinking, well, I polished it and I put water on it and it was still beading, that's normal. Clean paint beads water. Polishing doesn't necessarily take away the beading from paint. Now, a pass or two later, I have perfect polish residue on the surface. This is the way it should be.
There was a time when I got really fixated on getting my pad into the concave here, but a really simple way to polish around curved lines and just different bends and shapes in a car is just take one plane and polish this way and then another one here. So it's kind of like pass here, and then I do this. And I'm not even worried sometimes when I'm close to these edges, is my pad spinning? You're still getting the majority of this, the cut that you're looking for. You're still cleaning, you're still shining paint. It can be really easy to overthink this. So if you've never done this before, take one curve as one line, and then take another plane and just go like that. And you're gonna get really shiny, clean paint, no stress.
Whole side is polished. Nick has a few little things to do on his side. We're gonna wipe it off, and wiping off the polish is very simple, but there is a technique to it. And that technique is using, first and foremost, a rinseless dampened towel. And this rinseless dampened towel, we're not trying to remove the polish with it. We're just trying to emulsify the polishing oils. So basically, a quick pass with the towel. Again, I'm not trying to remove everything. I'm just getting it damp. Then I'll use my dry towel to go back over it, reveal the shine, and at the same time picking up that polish residue and a little bit of the rinseless wash.
Boy, I can see a reflection from here, very shiny.
Yeah.
If people just want to use a dry towel to remove polish, what is your answer to that?
You can. It's gonna give you a little more work, and it's not as safe. We're wanting to emulsify. That's what rinseless wash does. It emulsifies, meaning it breaks down, but it also encapsulates. So if you do have a piece of dust, because you were working outside, it's gonna encapsulate that piece of dust, making it a lot easier. And you'll notice the front end of this truck has paint protection film. We polish the PPF just like we do the paint. It's not a big deal.
I did want to point out some clumping. I know Ivan had mentioned it earlier, but the reason I had kind of polished over here and then continued to polish that on camera was I just wanted to make sure all my polishing lines looked really even, looked like a waffle pad had been on paint and not super clumped up. So I still have a little bit of work to do. With that said, I don't know if you can see how kind of clumpy it is here. Do you see that on camera? Clumpy, clumpy, clumpy little dots. Versus kind of like more, I don't know, like right here, it just looks like, polishing pattern. So that's the difference if you're looking for it visually. But Ivan, this is on PPF. It's the same thing for paint. I want the clumping gone. However, paint protection film, clear brow, whatever people want to call it, a lot of people are afraid to polish it. And another brand say never polish PPF.
Right. There's a couple of reasons for that. First of all, the way we polish, we do our best not to create any heat on the surface. Heat is your enemy on paint as much as it is on PPF, a little more on PPF, because if you create too much heat, you're actually gonna separate the glue. The other thing is, we don't have any harsh solvents, and a lot of compounds and polishes have harsh solvents. Those harsh solvents can actually work their way through the PPF and either permanently stain it or actually lift it off the surface. Not something you want happening, not a concern with a gold standard polishing system.
If you've never tried gold standard polish, it is just a winner. thousands upon thousands of detailers swear by it. Could you get away with bad technique and still get great finish with gold standard polish, Ivan?
Almost, yeah.
Yeah.
Now that we've polished, we wiped off the polish residue, next step is panel prep. And yes, we are using panel prep. Most of the time you see us using adhesion promoter polish, and we could use adhesion promoter polish on this, but today we're gonna use panel prep for the simple reason that adhesion promoter polish is designed to deep clean and open the pores of the paint. We're not opening the pores of the paint because it already has coating in it.
So you wouldn't open the pores of coated paint?
Well, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna do what we like app to do. So panel prep in this case is the right solution. And panel prep, we don't spray it on the surface. You spray it on the towel. I put about 8 sprays on my towel. And the way a panel prep should be used is you apply it to the surface, and while it's still wet, you wipe it off. And the reason we're doing that is you've emulsified the dirt. You're floating it in the panel prep, and then you want to remove it. If you're just spraying and wiping, all you're doing is moving it around. Whereas now we're actually removing it. We floated it to the surface. Once it's floated to the surface, then we remove the panel prep along with any oils or greases that it could be picking up.
So Ivan, we have DIY Detail panel prep. What if someone has something like isopropyl alcohol? You know, that's a thing a lot of people like to use for panel prep, or maybe a glass cleaner.
No. Use the panel prep that your coating company recommends. So your coating company should provide or should have a panel prep available to you. We have DIY Detail panel prep. Now, we recommend C6 app more than we do the panel prep because it's actually a better solution. But on a vehicle that's already been coated, there's no need to go to app. If you have app, definitely use it though. So you should be behind me, Nick.
Behind you, okay.
And then as I'm going over the surface, you can follow right behind.
Okay.
And you just want to get the towel wet enough that you're emulsifying and leaving it floating in the surface so that Nick can then pick it up. Last part, the hood.
You know, it's very rewarding and it's very simple to do panel prep. I prefer adhesion promoter polish because you just get it on with a red jeweling pad and then you just come wipe it back later. But
right.
You know, panel prep's a great way to prep for a coating. And I'm glad that we're showcasing it because it's the way a lot of people are used to, you know, prepping for coatings. What's the difference between panel prep, Ivan, and C6 adhesion promoter polish?
So the adhesion promoter polish does a better job in the end. In this case, it's not necessary, but if you're dealing with raw paint, definitely. The adhesion promoter polish, not only does it deep clean, but it also swells the paint, opening it up so your coating not only sits on the paint, but actually goes into the paint. So the cross-linking is a lot more active, it's a lot better. So there we go, Nick. We panel prepped the whole truck. It was quick, it was easy, it was simple, but it's a step you don't want to skip.
Ivan, I have a level 1 coating towel. I have a Freebird 400 and another number, 5.
Right, we have our 5-year ceramic coating. This is the coating you want if you want gloss, if you want that candy-like gloss. With a metallic that's in this black, it's just gonna make it pop. That's what we wanna see, that's what we wanna do. It's gonna protect this truck for a long time, and it's so fun and easy to use. It's the cherry on the sundae.
So I shouldn't be nervous about this step?
No, coatings are the easiest part of all of this. The prep, the polishing, the cleaning, the decontamination, that's a lot more work than the coating itself. The coating, have fun with it. It's easy, it's simple, it's nothing difficult to do.
In our coating box, you're
Right.
going to get a bottle and you're gonna get this red applicator.
Correct. So the bottle is our 5-year ceramic coating and the red applicator. Let's put the box away.
So these are our type 3 ceramic coatings, Ivan. They're not type 1.
No.
They're not type 2.
They're type 3.
So what's up with the type 3?
So type 3, newer technology. We're using TEOS, or tetraethyl orthosilicate. The TEOS, what it's doing for us, it is a functionalized TEOS. So a lot of coatings in the past have tried to use TEOS, they have used TEOS, but not in a functionalized form, meaning that the TEOS stays as TEOS, it doesn't convert to SiO2. Now there is SiO2 in the formula, and there is, of course, silicon carbide. What this does, it gives us a coating that really is resistant to fracturing, but also resistant to clogging. Now I'm not saying it's never gonna clog, but it is highly resistant to that. So if you're dealing with salt, if you're dealing with salt air from living on a coastal area, these are things that are important to you.
All right, let's get to it.
And of course, it's easy and fun to use. We'll start on the hood, which is our tradition here. So 8 to 10 drops on the applicator. And normally we would box in an area, but I'm not gonna box it in. I'm gonna start in the center because what I'm wanting to do is prime my applicator. And you'll see it goes on as a liquid. And we'll get what's called flashing, which basically means it looks like an oil slick on water. And I need a couple more drops here.
You who always preaches less is more, I saw a lot of drops you just put on there. How do I know what too much is, what the right amount is? It can be hard in the real world without Ivan by your side.
Yeah, and this is an older PPF, so it seems very absorbent. So we're gonna let it absorb if that's what it wants to do.
So because the front clip is PPF, that's why you put so much more on. It was absorbing it, got it.
Yeah,
normally you would never put another dollop like that of coating.
But with the paint, it was fine. It's just on the PPF here, it seems to be a little more absorbent than the average.
So I can see the flashing on camera here. I'm waiting for about 50% of it to disappear. So you're looking for the flashing and then you're looking for it to, on its own, flash away.
Yeah.
That oil slick on water disappearing is kind of what I'm looking for.
Right. So
I could wipe right away, right? I could level
You can.
Right away.
We have instant bond technology.
I'm just gonna put my towel on there and see if it wipes smooth. I mean, it's very smooth, but I think I could give it a little bit longer. See, I put my towel down and I saw the towel mark. So I already sensed it was a little early, but when you do that and you put your towel down and you see all the little perforations of the towel, I don't know if you can see all the little perforations of the towel there where I put the towel down. Yeah, you see that? That lets you know you're wiping a little too soon, leveling a little too soon.
And it was obvious that I put too much on the surface. Once we have the applicator primed, it becomes much easier to gauge how much to put on. And it's gonna flash or cross-link just a little faster. Now, if you put too much coating on, it's gonna seem fine until you go to level. It's gonna make leveling a little more difficult and you may experience phantom high spots. And phantom high spots are, you've leveled it off, it looks great. You come back 15 or 20 minutes later and there's a high spot appeared. That's a phantom high spot. That's something you don't want to experience.
And because I usually put too much product on,
yes,
that is something that I've had to deal with, is phantom high spots. So it just really, at home, do what you're gonna do, but when it comes to coating, listen like a mouse or a hawk, whatever the right metaphor is, to Ivan here. You want to apply a minimal amount. Okay, so let's say you can't really see the paint that well though.
Right.
You want to apply a minimal amount, but you can't really see what's happening, and you're like, I better apply more on the new panel. Next thing you know, you've done way too much. Like, that's happened to me before. How do I not do that, Ivan?
Well, if you want to test how long it takes to flash because you can't see it on white or silver paint, simply do one of the windows. And if the back windows are tinted black, even better, do one of those back windows and you'll be fine. You'll be able to see it exactly there.
So I'm leveling with the level 1.
Yeah.
And I'm coming back with my Freebird 400 here. I'm overlapping, so I'm going onto a panel we haven't coated yet. I'm being redundant. This is how we prevent high spots.
Right, and high spots occur exactly where I am now. So around intersections of panels where you have a change of plane and around things like this antenna base. That is where high spots are prevalent. Now, we tend to box in a panel, so we'll box it in all the way, go all the way around. And then once it's boxed in, then we fill in with nice circular motions. And the reason for the circular motions, less chance of high spots. And this coating, you'll notice, it's so even, it blends into the panel quite easily and simply and quickly. So Nick, the whole upper part here, so the frame, the mirror, and the little bug deflector, those are all done. And I'm gonna do the back door next. The reason for doing the back door next, I'm not in Nick's way, and He's not trying to do the whole door at once. He's just concentrating on the upper part because that's the part that's actually the most complicated. Nice flat panel is simple, it's easy. But getting in all the cracks, crevices there, he wants to make sure that he's leveling everywhere. So I'm giving him time to do that. I'll start on the back here. Do the same thing, level all the way around. One thing we did with our Type 3 coatings is make them a little slower acting. And that's on purpose. We want to give you more time. We want to take the stress away of, oh, I have to level it so quickly. If you're working alone, it makes life easier. So the application of this will feel like our previous coatings. So anybody who's applied them before, you're not going to be out of sorts. It's just super easy to apply. Our Hydrate 8-year coating is a little more involved in the sense that you have to get used to it. It's super easy to install, but it takes a little practice because it doesn't feel the same. These coatings are very, very user-friendly. So is the Hydrate, but it takes a little practice because it feels different. It feels like a thicker liquid. It actually feels a little bit. But this is going to give us a phenomenal gloss on this truck. And you can see the darkening effect that the coating has on the paint. Make sure to get inside that door handle. And now I'm going to accelerate a little bit because Nick is not having a problem keeping up with me, and this coating can sit a little longer before being leveled. So I'm basically going to get out of his way. So you can definitely see the darkening effect here. That's what we're going for. This is going to give us a beautiful glossy finish. Oh, yeah, see. So Nick, you've applied this coating by yourself before. This is our first time applying it as a team. How do you find it now? Because as a lone operator, it's super simple to work with.
Yeah, I just give myself a lot more time.
Yeah.
I don't feel the pressure of keeping up with you.
No.
I'm a little bit slower usually, so it's actually a nice rhythm for me. If you feel like one panel at a time is too slow for you, when you're solo, you could do another panel ahead,
Yeah.
right? And then come back with your leveling and just, okay, I'm gonna be coating now for a few panels,
Yeah.
then I'm gonna be leveling.
Right.
So it's just a different mentality, but I mean, once you figure it out, it's easy.
Yeah, in my testing, I do the whole side of the vehicle, then come back and level it. Super simple, super easy. That way you're not putting down the applicator, picking up the towels, putting down the towels, picking up the applicator back and forth. You can do the whole half of the vehicle before leveling. Now, we have instant bond technology, which means if you want to level right away, you can't see it, whatever, go for it, not an issue. But we're trying to make it easier for everyone.
I'm always trying to not get my level one wet, but
Yeah.
if it got a little quote unquote wet, you could just grab another towel, right? You could level this right away.
Yep.
I'm just trying to optimize the amount of work I'm doing, the amount of towels I'm using. Seems like I'm always using too many towels, and I just want to keep it simple. So the best way to think about it with our Type 3 coatings is, the other generation, Type 2, you pretty much level everything with this towel, and this was almost unnecessary. Like, you should probably have this, whatever. This way, I am actually just thinking of this level 1 as re-spreading the coating. I'm not doing all the work here. I'm spreading whatever's left over into maybe like a thinner, more even layer, right? Just nice and easy, no stress. And then I am doing some of the work with this now. And with this Freebird 400 now, I'm still going outside the lines, right? I'm being redundant, but I am accomplishing a little bit more. I am still in the leveling process here, finishing the job. Ivan, did that make sense at all?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. The name of the towel makes sense too. It's a level 1. So you're leveling, you're not removing coating, you're leveling it. You're spreading it out a little thinner. And if we come here, you can see the rainbow effect or the oil slick on water, and it's gonna slowly dissipate. You don't wanna start leveling until at least 50% of that has dissipated back to clear.
So again, if you've used our coatings before, I just wanna let you know, Type 3, you're going to wait a little bit longer for it to flash. I mean, you could have different circumstances, humidity can change things, but you don't need to rush this. And then you're gonna use both towels as part of your process. This towel is not the only towel you're gonna be using. I would obviously use 2 towels before.
Right.
But it seemed like with the Freeboard 400, it was almost a superfluous, kind of unnecessary, but I'm doing it anyway kind of.
Insurance
It was
wipe.
an insurance wipe. It's
Yeah.
more than an insurance wipe now.
Right, now it's part of the process. We were doing it before, but the slower solvent that we're using, especially for the mobile detailer, is gonna make it a lot easier, a lot simpler. So if you're working in direct sunlight, it's gonna, of course, flash a little faster, but it's gonna give you still time to work with it. And that's the important part of it. So Nick is now just re-leveling it, if I can put it that way. So you're making sure that you're leveling it, that everything is going fine. And then the secondary towel is the one where you get to feel that instant slickness and the fun of the coating.
Well, and this towel is so good at that anyway.
Yeah.
It's almost like we weren't giving it, an opportunity to shine in the way that it really can. With the thick fibers of the Freeboard 400, it's always been really nice around logos and emblems.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just does a little bit more work for us in this step. Always going back over. I'm overlapping into other parts of the car. Even around this, I'm gonna kind of do one of these, and back, and there. Right, around the corners of a handle. It's a high spot, hot spot, Ivan.
Yeah.
These are spots where if you don't judiciously level, you might miss something. And don't forget the
lights.
the lights. Woo!
So the side of the bed, it's been 3 or 4 minutes now, and it's still, about 70%. You can see that rainbow effect. Now the shop, we have the air conditioning running today. 2 days ago in Omaha, it was below freezing. Today it's above 80 degrees. And tomorrow we're supposed to be down to 26. So just the weather is everywhere. So it's a little dry in here, and the drier it is, the slower it's going to be to cure. There's a moisture curing component to this.
What about for mobile detailers? What should they expect?
They should expect to be able to do a couple panels before coming back and having to level. So Nick is used to leveling, and when he levels, after using the level 1 towel, everything is done. It's not the case with this coating. So that secondary insurance wipe is the one that's doing the final wipe that we were doing before.
But it's really extraordinary because it's doing all that it needs to do.
Right, instant gloss, slickness, shine, everything you want from a coating. Now the other thing with this vehicle, we're applying a coating over a previous coating. That makes it a little different. You're not gonna get as much cross-linking into the paint. Therefore, that is also slowing down the cross-linking effect. So you can hear the applicator now, and I'm purposely doing this. When I go back over it, you don't hear it. But when I go to an area where I haven't coated, you can hear the applicator. That means it's time to put on a couple more drops. A couple more drops means 2, not 4, not 6, not 10, not even 3. So box in my edges and then fill it in. Of course, we want to do the handle all the way around it, inside, everywhere. That way when the customer grabs the door handle, they get that luxurious feeling of a coating. So you'll see the high spots that Nick has here as he goes over it with the secondary towel, the Freeboard 400, those will all dissipate away. It looks like I'm spreading something that's black on this door. That's how rich it's making this look, but my applicator doesn't have black dye in it, don't worry.
Ivan, this is looking like a new truck. My jaw is dropping.
Yeah, it was great looking before, now it's spectacular.
That is the right word, spectacular. It's not even like this paint is perfect either, you know? Like we just did a one step on it. There's still some deeper scratches and rock chips that got touched up and but when you stand back from this thing, it literally looks brand new.
Yep.
Dare I say, better than new? Spending a little extra time around the front handle here. We know the driver's gonna touch this. We don't wanna leave any high spots. We want it to be nice and slick. So I'm glad you coated the door handle, Ivan. Some people They forget to coat handles.
Yep, it's one of the most important parts to coat. It's the one that gets the most contact, and it's the one where the owner gets to feel once in a while, because we don't want you rubbing your hands on the paint. And once you get your applicator primed, 2 drops goes a very long way. Now we say to apply in circular motions, but some people take that too literally, and on a small area like this, you'll see them do little circles like that. When you're doing an area like this, go in a straight line. That's not a big deal. It's just cross-hatching is a waste of time. It's hard on your elbows, it's hard on your body, and it can leave high spots. But when you have small areas where you can do a straight line, by all means, do a straight line.
All I gotta say is wow. If you haven't tried our Type 3 coatings, this is a big step. It's different, that's all I'm gonna say. It is a really freaking awesome coating.
It's a big advancement in technology for sure. And we have the enthusiast in mind that may not have a garage, that could be doing this in their driveway, or the mobile detailer, again, that doesn't have the luxury of having a shop. That is where this technology really comes into its own. Now, if you have a shop, it's gonna be great, but those that don't have a shop, they're out in the driveway, they're out in the customer's driveway, this just makes it so much easier, a lot less stress involved. Now, of course, if you have our Type 2 coatings, you still have a great coating. It doesn't mean you have to go out and change for the Type 3. If you have the Type 2 in your car, don't say, oh, I have to get rid of it. No. Still a great coating, don't worry about it. But the Type 3s are an advancement. It's like, this is a 2017 Toyota. The customer isn't going out and buying a 2026 because he loves his 2017. It's doing everything he needs it to do. Same thing with our Type 1 and Type 2 coatings. Now, I'm doing the windows last. It's a habit you'll want to get into, especially for the windshield, but for the windows as well. The simple reason behind this, if you've done one car with the bottle and you're not sure how much is left, leave the windows till last. That will give you the opportunity to know exactly how much you have left in your applicator. And if you don't coat the windows, it won't be as much of a travesty as, let's say, not coating one of the fenders because you ran out of coating. And I can apply a bit of pressure to my applicator to get every last drop of coating out of it.
And then we are just finishing up here on the windshield. We're saving this till last?
I always save the windshield till last because now I can actually put pressure on the applicator, getting every last drop of coating out of it.
Any specific way to ceramic coat glass?
Yes, use our hydro glass. If you're going to be using the wipers on a regular basis. A glass-specific coating like C6 Hydro Glass is designed to take that abrasion a little bit more. But this is a customer that's used to having a coating on their windshield. And since they're used to having the coating on the windshield, it makes it so much easier because they know not to put the wipers on. Always be sure to get those little triangles at the top and the bottom of the windshield. There's, a lot of times it's missed here and it's missed down there, so.
Can I pass these to you now, or do you want me to step over there?
No, pass them over.
Ivan, I don't think I've done this much marveling at a car before with you in a video in Omaha. I often am proud of my work, and I know that's one of the joys of detailing, whether you're getting paid for it or doing your own vehicles, is just how rewarding it is.
Yes.
But our Type 3 coatings are on another level.
Yes, they are. For a quote-unquote consumer coating, it's actually a professional coating, but available to consumers, is just elevating the game.
Wow.
And making it a lot of fun. We've tried to reduce the stress of applying a coating as much as possible by slowing down that reaction time, by making sure that the coating is easy to level. There's no stress involved with leveling. Did you wipe the wiper arm?
No, I didn't wipe the wiper arm, but you didn't coat the underside of the blade, correct?
No. Clean the underside of the blade. Don't coat your wiper blades. Not a good thing to do.
Okay, Ivan, final thoughts.
Final thoughts. It's easy, it's fun to apply. The coating is the easiest part of the job.
It's so slick already.
Yeah, the 5-year coating is very, very slick. It is extremely glossy. And we say our 8 year is the glossiest, which it is, but this has a different type of gloss. If you're dealing with a metallic paint, the 5-year is spectacular. It's gonna bring out that metallic. It's more of a candy gloss, whereas the Hydrate is more like a wax-like gloss. So they have their gloss components that are a little different in both. The slickness on this is amazing. The Hydrate fills, this doesn't fill. So those are the differences there. But the application, don't over apply. Don't put too much on. Don't apply with pressure. Just have fun, glide around the vehicle. Once you've glided around the vehicle, you'll see just how easy it is.
So it was a little bit different on the leveling. We talked about that during the
Yes.
process. If you have any questions, by the way, just ask them in the comments. We answer all of them. I wanted to talk about what happens next. When can I wash this? When can I drive this out of my garage? When can I put NV ceramic sealant on after the wash? These are questions people are gonna have once they have a coated car.
1 hour, it can get wet. If it's a beautiful sunny day, we could drive it away right now. For the first wash, wait 3 days if you're using rinseless wash, wait a week if you're using soap, and to use any form of topper like NV ceramic sealant or quick beads, wait at least a week. You don't need to top it to release it. That is something that some other coating brands specify, that if you're gonna release it before 24 hours, you have to put a topper on it. No, do not do that. It's good to go the way it is.
So after 1 to 8 hours, we don't want to make this complicated, but you could stack this, right? You could put our 3 or 1 year. You mentioned don't use a topper.
Right.
So what's going on with the 3 or the 1 as far as the stack?
So if you're using something like Envy, a detail spray or a ceramic spray to put on it as a topper, that's actually going to damage the coating below it slightly. But if you're putting the 1 year or the 3 year into it, you're not putting it onto it, you're actually putting into it. That's why we have that 1 to 8 hour window. If you go past that 8 hours, you're just putting a coating on top of a coating and you're wasting your time. But in that 1 to 8 hour window, you're actually combining the two on the surface, giving you even more slickness and even more gloss.
Will it make it more like the 1 year if I put it on the 5 year? If I like what I see with the 5 year, is it just gonna look like the 1 year after that?
No.
Or is it just gonna look like the 3? You know what I mean? Like people, I only ask these questions because people have them for us.
Right, the look is gonna stay the same, but you're gonna amplify the gloss and you're gonna amplify the slickness.
So if you wanna do it between 1 and 8 hours and stack your vehicle with the 1 or the 3 year, it's only going to look better.
It's only gonna look
perform better.
Definitely, it's only gonna look better. As a professional, not something I would offer to my customers, but as a hobbyist at home, definitely something you wanna try.
If you want your paint to look like this, folks, I don't know what you're waiting for. Get yourself a ceramic coating from DIY Detail. The 5 year is amazing, Hydrate's amazing. The 1 year, Ivan, they may wanna know more about which coating to choose and why.
Right, and we have a video for that right here.